And anyway, that's how I ended up in a poker match with the sauce boss of the Midwest. Almost lost to Saab. Almost.
That wouldn't have been a bad day.
That would have been a sob story. Anyway.
Speaking of sauce, we got limited edition merch.
We do.
It's on the site right now. Big M over there on the ones and twos whipped up a sweet design.
It's a good t-shirt, too.
You can see it back here. Well, you can't see it behind Bo's big head, but there you go.
There it is.
3 of the 4 of us got the memo. Mr. Timbo Beakus over here did not.
Well,
his telegraph didn't come through.
We're all on broadband. He's still on the dial.
I've been just waiting by the fax machine.
It never came through. Oh, well, what? Holy crap.
Immediately in with the old jokes.
All right.
Click, Morse code.
What's up, everybody? We are ZZP Power Hour number 171 today. We're going to talk about some stuff and some things.
We missed you guys.
It's been a month. What's happened?
It feels so much longer than a month.
It
It
does.
certainly does.
Crazy.
October.
October's over.
It's been beautiful.
How did it happen?
I don't know. I don't know where it went. It's all gone.
Literally, 2 days ago, I was like, "What day is it in October?" I look, it was like 23rd at the time, and I'm like, "What happened in October? What's going on?"
Oh, yep. We got some regulars in here. We got Dan North. We got Jeff Gordon, Sebastian Morrison, Swartwout, and good old TJ Malakad. He's in here as always.
That is.
Nice to see you, Tej. We're loving the support as always. But yeah, like Rob said, it's boost weather right now, and fall has been amazing here in Michigan. I mean, it hasn't rained.
Yep.
Till the day. This was like our first rain day all October.
Yeah.
It's been so good because we were a little behind on some installs in the install department, just trying to get cars home before the weather comes, and we got super blessed and were able to dial in a bunch of cars. And
We were even able to crank out a couple goblins while it was still decent
right?
out.
2 goblins in October was risky on Bo's part for scheduling, but
It was risky.
Roll the dice.
And they both made 379 wheel
what
horsepower.
are the odds of that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're the
It's
same
almost
build.
like we have like a recipe here.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
Get some sauce in your life.
Yeah, so what are we doing to prep for winter as a company, as people?
Before we get to that,
All right.
since it is basically wrap-up time for the
yeah.
season, let's go over what we've done, what we've accomplished. I mean, I was just going through products that we've come out with, but it's been like 3 or 4 every week. I mean, we've been cranking these things out, but I mean, obviously we want to talk about racing.
yeah. Well, off the rip this year, I mean, we had Alan Mayo's Camaro. I mean, that was our first time at the track, reflecting back to that, which seems like a long time, but also like yesterday.
Yeah.
And we did 9s in that off the trailer. That was a killer start.
9s in an LTG. Been a long time coming.
Yep.
But glad to see that Alan's car was the first one to do it, and that car is getting wrapped up, ready to go back in his hands.
It's in a really good spot right now. He dropped off a full ZL1 interior. We put a ZL1 interior in the car.
Nice.
Did some custom exhaust to accommodate the 257 for him, which hopefully we're trying to get a 257 kit coming down the pipe for you guys.
I need one of those.
That's true.
On the old Camaro.
Yeah, if we can be racing Tyler's car next year on 257, we'll be in a good spot for his car.
Maybe a 257 on my Regal, maybe.
257, all the 4 cylinders.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Even to this day, by modern terms, it's an old turbo.
Yeah.
But man, that sucker just works.
Well, we even played around with the new one, and we were like, no, we just like the old one.
It didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put a 257 on my Sonic.
Tim's like,
So on the topic of this summer, Tim is itching for more power out of his Sonic because he's showed up to every single event, every single shenanigan, every single lunch, and just lost to the Regal every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Pretty much.
I don't have a lot good to say. But I will say, I did learn a lot of lessons for you customers. So if you follow our recipe, I could save you a lot of money and a lot of heartache. And part of that is our high RPM lash adjusters and our rocker guard.
Yeah.
Those two are pretty magical together.
Rocker guard TM.
I have missed quite a few races due to that.
Yeah.
Like kicking rockers like first lap and just ruining the rest of the day.
Well,
like, it's been rough.
We're taking a generator engine and making 300 plus wheel out of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Asking a lot.
For really not that many mods. Like, obviously, it's new turbo and full bolt-ons, but, we were talking about that White Sonic today, and I'm like, it's already got a turbo, just slap a Z04 on it, it's good to go. But
good car.
So, we did that in Mayo's car.
Rolled into street car.
What did Matt's car end up doing?
Ooh.
I don't know the number offhand. Matt's in here.
What was the best ATS time of the year, Matt?
Yeah, let us know about that, which is just scratching the surface of what that car is going to do, which is really cool.
Don't you do that to me. Don't you do that to me, because you know what car that compound turbo would go on. Go right on my green car.
Yep.
Hey,
go on
compounds, that was pretty sick on the old drag car. And we did it with a little V3, so do it with a Z04 and something bigger.
It's just making everything fit.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Yeah, Matt, 959, which is great. But we're going to go a lot deeper in that car. My Camaro dropped into the 10s, which is really cool. 10-second street car.
Cool. Very cool.
That I drove today when it was 30-something degrees outside in the morning.
And it hasn't changed anything but tires.
No.
Just tires,
It's basically got slicks on it now. So we're going to have to pencil in some new tires for the next year. So, Randy, you got yourself a new vehicle.
I did. I have my V-Sport.
Two? No, you've had the...
I mean, we bought a Trax. But,
well, yeah.
I mean, I bought the V-Sport. We rebuilt the engine on that. Did basically full bolt-ons right off the rip.
I really want to ride in that car. That project turned out nice.
It's a good car.
It's quick.
It's basically a V sleeper.
Yeah. It's
Leaper.
The old butt dyno says it's all of
mid
500s.
Yeah.
It's spicy.
Yeah.
Especially on the no seasons it's on. It's
I would say it's 550 plus pretty easy.
Yeah. And that's on
gas
93. So
yeah, that's just gas.
Speaking of big power, we matched and or reset the M90 world record this year.
That is true.
Casually. Came off some low 11 rips at Streetcar Takeover and Zoom's GTP, and he says, "Dyno it for me." And we did.
And it needs a fuel pump.
It needs a fuel pump because it makes 467 horsepower at the front tires on our low-reading Mustang dyno. Tim and I were just like, of course it does. This car is awesome.
Man, speaking of that, that's another thing this year, man. We bought that brand new Mustang dyno, last November, and I freaking love this thing.
Yeah, we've really got comfortable on it.
I can finally A/B test parts from different days, different weeks, and get good results.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Our old dyno was a little inconsistent.
Yeah, it
my
was
car
on its
would
last legs.
My car would make I'm looking at these dyno sheets and I'm like, man, this day it made 300 wheel, this day it made 330 wheel, and I'm like, I don't know really what the difference was. But the new dyno, I strap that thing down this week or next week, it makes the same freaking power.
Yeah, you can trust it.
Yes.
Just over and over and over again, and it's nice to finally have some modern software. Right,
Man, it's a lot of shit talking from a car that makes 250 wheel. Anyways,
Tim, you got yourself a new car or two. Two? Well, you got a truck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I do have the Raptor, which is a nice daily driver.
It's a good car.
And
good
the
truck.
Regal, it's I was thinking
the Regal's
about selling
been a cool
it,
addition to the fleet, your fleet and or our fleet. Sometimes it's hard to decipher the difference.
Yeah, and we always talk about what does it take to get new parts, and it's someone buys a car.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I've always loved Regals.
They look so good.
We had a customer car here. You were in it for 2 days, and you're like, all right, this sealed the deal. I need one.
Yeah. So last, November, December-ish, I was like, you know what? ZZP needs a car to engineer a cold air intake and an intercooler on.
Yep.
So I'm just going to buy myself an all-wheel drive Regal. I'll drive it as a winter beater. We'll engineer some parts on it, and then I'll sell it when we're done. But then,
like it?
Yeah, we engineered parts. We made the cold air intake, which is on the website right now. And we made an intercooler, which is going to be on the website soon. We're wrapping up final design on one of the couplers of that whole kit. I guess early next week, since it was supposed to be done this week.
Okay. Great.
And then that'll go on the website, and we'll have a Regal intercooler kit, which all of you Regal guys need. Like it is.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Oh man!
So.
Like just get HP tuners, or if you have it, log manifold air temperature, and just do a full throttle run for like 2 gears, and watch how fast that goes up. Yeah. And you could pretty much multiply that by like 60%.
Yeah.
After you put an intercooler.
It's like a supercharged car.
Yeah.
How quickly those IATs go up.
They skyrocket. Like you are over 140 degrees in like 4 seconds of full throttle. Really? And then you put a friggin' intercooler kit on it, and it's like it just like sits just above ambient or around ambient.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
It's bad. It's like bad. I have scans if you ever want to see them.
We really realized that when we did a couple Z54 projects. And we're like, we need an intercooler.
Yeah.
Tim 300, be on the lookout. We are finalizing our Kappa turbos. We've got all the components. We just need to put together the kit and make sure that you guys have everything you need to install that. So that'll be coming down the line with the Z54, the Z57, and then eventually the ZFRs, but we never have them in stock because we can't keep them in stock.
As well as we have our intercooler, we put it on the website, we sold it. We had a couple fitment issues on customer cars, so we decided to like pull it on the website and like perfect the design. Mm-hmm. We have a car coming in soon. I'm surprised he's not on here actually.
I know. Preston's usually here.
Preston's gonna drop off his sister's beautiful stock auto Sky, and we're just gonna iron out the details on the intercooler kit and get it right back on the website very soon.
Yeah. So. I mean, in terms of racing was great. Development, the Gen 2 Cruise has come really far. We've got a lot of parts for that now within the last calendar year. Like, pretty impressive how quickly those parts have come out. We've already got our new turbo in the works for that. Just came out.
Which is looking like spring.
Yep. Just put the billet wastegate actuators on the site last week. Yeah. That's a huge mod because that stock one is really crap. But
and we're on the Gen 2 Cruise. We have an auto, which we had. I think I can probably talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Dude in Blue stopped back, did a full review on our Gen 2 auto car, which is super good car. It's we called it the rental. Rental car, and then all of a sudden we started putting some mods on it, and we did some brakes and the Yankees, and we're like, this is a good car. It
started that morning. It looked like somebody went to Tire Rack and was like, these wheels, these tires.
But it works.
But we put the Yankees and brakes on it, and I was like, huh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Full build.
Not to mention what it make for power, Tim?
I don't remember.
Almost 300 wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was high 200.
Through the auto on the next turbo.
Yep.
So we're already on Rev 2 turbo.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting.
On a completely stock engine.
Yeah, this thing is a 100% stock high mile car. And we developed our, I guess I'll call it a Z04 for LE2 turbo. Mm-hmm. That'll be coming out in the spring, which is a great upgrade. Like, man, it spools so well. You could run this on your wife's girlfriend's car, and she's not going to complain, and you're going to gain a bunch of power. And then we already have on that car
the big boy,
bigger turbo for it.
Z04's big brother.
But that one's a little more fab time, a little more custom stuff. So that's probably going to be released like late summer, I would guess.
Yeah.
But
still,
that's a better turbo than we have for our Gen 1 1.4. Mm-hmm. And then I'm kind of hoping to come out early next season with our next level turbo on my car, the Gen 1 Sonic, the Gen 1 engine. So that'll be pretty exciting.
What's cool too is on the topic of the Gen 2 Cruise, we have a manual as well. We started with an auto because of what we had around the shop, and then we went ahead and we were like, we need a manual car.
Which are very hard to find.
Yep. And we had a local guy come to us.
It just kind of fell into the shop.
It was so perfect. We were shopping around for a manual one, and then I had an install come in.
Dan North, my bad.
Engine was.
Maybe I should have said your wife and your girlfriend. I don't know. I'm sorry.
That too. Either way.
Well,
manual. Anyway, long story short, we acquired a manual Gen 2 from a good local customer, and we're planning on kicking off a build series for that, comparable to the Yeti Cruise build series. So stay tuned for that. Turbo Tim and Big M are going to be working on that throughout the winter, keeping you guys some content. We'll be starting off ground zero mod for mod all the way through on the Gen 2 stuff, so that'll be a really cool series to bring to you guys.
Yep.
What other cars did we acquire? We got a couple new ATSVs.
We got some
in the
ATSVs.
house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. We got another development Camaro.
Yep.
Shoot, man, we got a lot of stuff
we've
this
got
year.
a lot of things happening.
Ion Redline.
Ion Redline. Yep.
Yeah.
Tyler's passion project of bringing you guys the stealth for the Ion boys is
The theoretical stealth. We've talked about that a lot and not had it.
Yes,
it's because it's not easy. It is not easy.
It's not that hard. I had one on my car. It wasn't a stealth, but it was.
Tim, the thing is, you're not scared of a cutting wheel. Our customers so much.
Yeah. You are correct.
That's true.
I am definitely not scared of it.
It's really easy to be like, oh yeah, fit this in there.
He's
And Tim's like,
He's like, airflow, intercooling, yeah.
It does fire me up. It's like upgrades and weight savings at the same time.
yeah, it's
At the cost of safety. It's cool.
Everybody wins.
Except for you, if you hit something. Dan North, I wish we did 04 to 12 Colorado development. I love those trucks. But
I mean, we do have a Colorado that we might develop some things on.
Yeah.
But that's
story.
way later. Man, it's just so many things have happened in the last month.
A lot of development, a lot of new products.
Like you said, it's like 3 or 4 new products a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I can barely keep up.
Yeah, we've been on the rev limiter for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Randy got his Sonic up and running with the G25 on it.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
is freaking amazing. That thing maxes at 15 pounds, which is wastegate spring. He maxes his MAF at like 5,000 RPM.
Yeah.
If I wring mine out, I might max the MAF at like 7,500 RPM. Like if I really wring out the Z04.
It's like pretty much instant. You can see the MAF. It just goes. Meep.
Yeah,
like
it's 5,000 done and just flatline.
That's gonna be a problem color.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break some.
Maybe
stuff.
that car won't lose to Bo's Regal.
I don't know. He just have to turn it up. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. You guys had your only opportunity of me sleeping around, and it was this summer. The Regal is not going to be slow next year.
So let's roll that into
what are you
winter
doing?
plans / next year plans / what the heck are we doing?
I mean, you already told me you're not doing anything to it over the winter.
I did. Yeah. You know how car guys' minds work. I mean, it changes
like,
day to day.
I didn't tell you that. We talked yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, I talked to you, and then I went home and I was like, that can't happen.
I can't do that.
Because like beginning to this is that Bo and I kind of raced. We didn't get a good race, but it kind of looks like Bo's going to beat me still. Like, this is the detuned Regal.
Yeah.
Like
the slowest form of moose.
Yeah, like that freaking car.
Moose with snow boots on, and you still couldn't catch it.
Yeah, like I did have more people in my car,
That's true.
but just fill in the excuses. Like it looks like Bo was gonna win, and I'm like, what do I have to do? What do I have to do to make this Sonic beat that stupid Buick?
Maybe I was gonna say maybe next year. My plan is like over the winter, get the cars ready and stuff for the next season. But I want to take the Sonic to street car next year, put it in the car show. And then I want to take my CTS and probably do some racing. But when we're done doing the racing, the Sonic and the Moose can do some street stuff.
I would imagine you guys will do some street stuff way before that day. Like,
yeah, that's in June.
Like if my car makes like 400 wheel and his car makes
450
or 450,
I don't know what it's gonna make.
We should be close. Like,
I have a target boost where I know it's safe, and I told Tyler it's gonna make what it makes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be freaking.
You did
fast.
not say target boost. Did you just like 20 pounds of PSI? Did you just do that?
No,
to
my
us?
number was.
You just customered us.
No, I don't care. I know
I
my
want
car.
20
I know
pounds
where
of
it's
boost.
safe.
I know my car.
I'm gonna run 18 pounds of boost, 18 degrees of timing. 18 pounds of boost, 18 degrees of timing. It'll make what it makes.
Wow.
I'm not gonna turn it up beyond that.
Yeah.
Because it does make more when you turn it up, but I'm just
yeah, it does.
We've been there. We've been there.
No, I think 400 wheel for my car is pretty. I don't want to say easy. That's not what I'm saying. it's able
attainable.
to make that. Yeah. It should be attainable, and then like 500 would be really, really pushing my.
We're gonna see.
We made like 700, so
yeah, but we take that off the trailer. We do a pass. We put it back on the trailer.
Yeah. This is
not something
this
we
is
fool
drive
around
it
to.
home.
Yeah,
and not make Katie mad because you got to call a trailer.
Yeah. Let's not do that. Like I've driven around with like Tyler, Bo, and Adam in the car, and they're all kind of like,
Oh yeah.
oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
interesting.
It's fun.
Because my Sonic only feels at the 305-ish wheel horsepower. I run it around on a regular basis. It feels quick when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I have like 3 other people in it, it doesn't feel fast at all anymore.
Yeah.
So like
with a couple folks in my green car, it feels pretty quick. With me by myself, it'll like haze the tires in third and fourth.
Okay, fourth. I cannot spin in fourth.
Yeah,
in third, it like chatters like a little
it'll
bit.
haze them pretty good in fourth on
Nice.
14 pounds.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll keep it short and sweet, and then we'll be over the moose. But moose, the goal is cut 500 pounds out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cutoff wheel.
Oh, man, I'm willing to help you because I know a lot of stuff.
I need to cut 500 pounds out of the car.
I can help you make a carbon roof.
Cut 500 pounds out. I'm going to go back to a 329 gear because the car is quicker on a 329 gear.
What's it got in it now? 292?
Yep.
But it'll gear out quicker.
I still won't, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to half mile the car, but I can still go through the traps at a comfortable RPM on a 26-inch tire. That's the other thing. Get it on a 15 and a 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did talk about that yesterday. We have wheels.
I mean,
and
it's
tires picked out,
basically 2025 is just Project 10s.
Mhm.
1099.
All right.
And then I can just like hang up that hat and enjoy it the rest of the summer, hopefully.
Mhm.
Have you weighed the moose as it sits right now?
Yeah. It's 37.75 with me in it.
Mhm.
So,
Wow,
It's not hateful.
She's heavy.
yeah. If
Mine was 3160 with me in it in race trim.
What's
Wow.
cool is I got
My Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Oh.
what's cool is I got like 50 pounds right here. So I only need 450 out of the real.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we got sway bars, we got bumper sports, we got
Yeah,
brakes.
there's a lot in it. It's very street car.
We can get something
Yeah,
like
the
that,
brakes,
right?
go to the Grand Am brake setup, get a 15 on it. There's a
I
lot
have
of weight
so many
just
ideas
sitting
for
around.
that. So like I am in when
We'll
you're
get
ready
rowdy.
to do that.
What did your Grand Prix start at? Did you have any?
It was
starting weight?
3440
Dude.
empty, like
Okay.
no fuel,
Yeah.
not me. When it was 100% stock.
And it was 3100 with you.
3160 with me in it in full race trim. That was Matt's borrowed carbon fiber hood.
In it? Okay.
Or not carbon, I think it was fiberglass.
Yep.
It was Matt's borrowed plastic bucket race seat.
Mhm.
It was no back seat, no passenger seat.
Yeah.
Pretty gutted.
And it's nice because on those older cars, pretty much everything you take out saves weight. It's not like, they weren't into the era of, we're making these cars fat, we got to slim them down in certain areas, like seats are heavy and, all that. You take a rear seat out of, I don't know, a Cobalt, and it's like 4 pounds.
Yeah.
So
So
spring and foam
Zoom's
stuff.
car with me in it was 3150.
Okay. And his car has more weight savings than mine, but it has a cage.
Has an old school cage.
Yeah,
so.
that's true.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zoom's car has Zoom and I, it was so fun. Well, Zoom, myself and Matt, we were like weekly, like I found this and it weighs this many ounces. Like we did that. And every time we found something that was dumb and worthless that we could pull out, we would like send a message to our little circle and then we would like all pull it out of our car. And it was neat.
I love that is still in you guys because like I love the way your eyes lit up when I said I was gonna take 500 pounds off. Tim's like, let's go.
Let's go.
And Zoom's the same way because when the bypass valve you guys probably recently seen drop for the platforms. Randy and I go into the meeting and we got a bypass valve that's super sweet and stainless bracket. We're all cool about this stainless bracket. Zoom's like, no, I want aluminum because it's lighter.
And I'm like,
A bracket this big on the bypass valve. Let's make it aluminum.
Everything
because
is
it's
still
lighter.
on his brain. He's like, how do we make this lighter?
Old school ZZP, whenever we released a new product, it had to be lighter than the original piece.
Yeah.
That was like our thing. And like, so you'll notice like on our old product pages, it like
the
at
weight
the bottom,
was-
there's like a weight, like stock 5.5, ZZP 4.7, like whatever. Like all of our old school products had that because it was kind of old school. Like we were just talking about like maybe 30 minutes ago, an hour ago, about how like the average customer has changed.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Certainly.
Bo and I were talking, we were like, you know, Bo's like, oh, go get a H-body coil pack bracket from the junkyard, and people now are like, I don't want to do that. And it's just like, man, you get more belt wrap. It's a better, sturdier
pounds
piece. It's
lighter.
lighter. Like,
Is it pounds lighter?
Yeah, the steel. I should just give you. You would have a hard time holding a steel coil
Yes.
pack bracket up in your hand.
Wow.
And
it's
then-
got to be 8 to 10 pounds
Dude,
bare minimum for just a coil pack bracket.
Brother.
Wow.
and you can do the same job. Well, not to mention the dog bone that it gets rid of. You got that whole dog bone assembly and the steel bracket that goes on the core support.
That's true.
Yeah.
We should just weigh the total difference. It'll blow people's minds.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of weight.
it's yeah.
we have some Bonneville coil setups. I think kicking around the shop. We should put some stuff together and sell them.
Yeah.
Hey.
So that's the Moose's plan.
Yep.
What other and any of the other cars getting anything this winter?
Nothing too crazy, just maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put an engine back in the HHR.
Oh yeah. I mean
Before winter.
that's got to happen this month.
Yep.
So.
What's your plan, Tyler?
So,
Are we gonna do some road course racing next year?
I would like to. It just costs money is the problem.
Yeah.
We got to get over this. We
I
got to figure
know.
some things out here. Like,
Yeah.
like
no,
the
I would
only
love
reason
to.
I didn't road course more is because like I just like doing it when more people are doing
Yeah,
it.
I the autocross we do at Grattan, that pretty much scratches my itch for road course, and I know it's not the same, but it's cheap and it's competitive. I don't love the idea of going out on road course just to beat on the car. I really get caught up in the competitive aspect. I love racing you guys. And I love racing like the group of autocrossers we've known. You know, we don't see the guys all year, and then you go back to that same autocross,
Yeah, and
and
they're
it's
all
the
there.
same guys, and it's like you go a whole year, you talk to them, what'd you do this year? You know, oh, I did this, this, and this, and you're racing again. You know, and they spend all year prepping to race you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
And then like you come back and you hit it off. Like the competitiveness is super fun in the autocross aspect, but like on a road course, you just pay for an event, go out and beat on the car for 20 minutes
but
at a time.
It's a lot of thrill.
I'm sure.
Yeah. When you're
Like-
going, you know, so in autocross you get what, 40 miles an hour, depending on the autocross.
Oh, the Grattan one. I'm
Oh, the
deep
Grattan
into
one.
the Hundies.
yeah,
Yeah, the
Well,
back
that's-
straight.
Back straight on Grattan, I can get that. But when you're at, like, I don't know, say the front straight of VIR, and at the end of the
Yeah.
straight when turn run, you're like, oh, I'm going 135 miles an hour.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
it's a little different.
that's not your typical autocross because
No.
normal
That's like,
autocross
I
is
wouldn't call that
70 miles.
autocross. I would call it track cross.
Track
Track
cross,
cross.
yeah.
yeah.
But on the Cobalt front, not going to change anything.
Gosh.
It's a good car.
Surprise.
Really?
Turbo.
Yep. It's a good car.
Surprise.
It is a good car.
Okay.
It's turnkey whenever I want it.
This is
all
where
year
I
long.
was this spring with
Yeah.
the Regal. I'm like, don't you pressure me. It's a good car.
Yeah, it's a good car. So with that, we can take it to the road course next year.
Okay.
And it will be fine.
All right.
There you go.
So my winter plans. So Erica recently got her Encore, which leaves us with an HHR. That
Which I still don't have a file from
I
you
know,
for.
it's been so fucking friggin' busy. But so we have that, and it's 220,000 miles. Like it's probably not worth a whole lot. And we were talking about selling it, but then I was like,
What
I
if we
could-
cut it up? and
I
make a
could
pickup?
drive it over the
Yeah.
winter, and then so my plan is to take the Saab home, pull it in, and just kind of make it a nice car.
Yeah.
Because since I bought it a year ago, I haven't done anything to it,
Mhm.
and it's got a lot of Saab quirks, obviously. But I got an intercooler kit to install. I'm gonna refresh the suspension, maybe do some ZZP coilovers. Get the brakes all sorted, get some oil leaks sorted. Just kind of a nice tinker toy all winter.
Yeah.
Like no plans, no rush. So that'll be cool. And then that's it.
Basically, Tyler and I are gonna completely restore the Saab over winter. It's
That's a
gonna
good
have
plan.
not one bit of rust. It's
That
gonna
might take
look
a
like
little
a
more
Pebble
than we
Beach
think.
car. You can put it up on the lift and it'll be perfect.
How about you, Tim? What are you ruining this winter?
Oh man, I've got to beat that Moose.
I love how passionate you are about that.
Yeah, I was like, I think Bo and I might be real close with the Sonic and
Never.
Moose next year, and I'm not really interested.
I've never struggled so
This
hard
is
to
the
beat
thing.
somebody.
I mean, basically everything I know about racing and building cars, I'd say 79% of it came from Tim.
Yeah.
The only thing that separates me from being better than him is the platform.
Yeah.
And
That's
as
true.
much as
Well,
you
here's
don't
the
want to
thing.
say a W body isn't a good platform at doing the things we
WBodies are
do,
fantastic.
it
but
is
it's the cubes, brother.
He's got 3 times the engine.
Yeah,
no
why don't you
replacement
guys-
for
why don't you guys
displacement.
race your V6s against each other.
Yeah. We don't want to do that. But like,
you even have less liters there.
yeah,
But another turbo.
yeah, a lot of technology.
I don't
there,
know though. Like, I mean, I'll roll race. Tim would walk me in the V, obviously, because
Oh,
it
yeah.
makes 700 horsepower. But it'd be really interesting to see that car at Grattan Autocross against the real.
No,
I don't know.
we're not going to do that because the Moose might beat it.
It's not
I've already tried racing my ATS-V. It was my first one. I took my first one to the autocross, and like it was making like 630 wheel horsepower, and it was unusable.
Yeah.
Like it was terrible. Like I was just like, no, I'm just not bringing this back to an autocross, and I'm not going to turn the power down to show up. Like no, like if it can't handle the power, then like I'll keep it to road course like I did with that car. But yeah, goal for me is finally beat the Moose, kinda, and that's going to take the next generation turbo.
Yep.
So we're working on it. It's a process, but we're working on
We've
the next
tested-
turbo
we've
above the
tested some-
Z04.
Tested some things.
Yep.
Got some good data. Obviously, Randy's car is a good bed to show us, it's not going to be a production kit, but
Yeah.
possibly a production turbo. Who knows where it'll go from
Randy's
here,
turbo is a better turbo than the turbo that we're going to use for the next generation of, LUJ, LUV.
Mhm.
But I think it's too aggressive for most customers.
Yeah, like
So-
and, like we have to build kits. Like I mean, you guys just see us doing our job, right? Where we get to mess with cool stuff all day and make these awesome things. But we're doing this all because we're trying to hone down like the size of ARs. Like
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
what's our actually use? Like my car's going to be a little bit unusable unless you're going in a straight line, realistically.
Yeah.
Like, we could put
And,
an
like-
8374 on a Cobalt like Ryan did.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to want to drive that
No.
Yeah.
unless they're
Like,
drag
and,
racing.
and like I
Yeah.
love driving the car. Like it's super fun. It's still pretty zippy to me. But like I'm also coming from a Cobalt that had a 7065 on it. So,
Yeah.
How are you measuring it? But we're honing down on like what can we actually use and what we can produce for $1 for you guys.
Yeah.
Like we're if we dropped the turbo kit that like Ross and I made for my car, you'd be looking at a $3,500, $4,000 kit. And you could buy a Sonic
for that. Yeah.
Like, why would you do that?
It is a better turbo. It sounds cooler. It's going to make more power. It's a better turbo. However, it was a highly custom kit,
Mhm.
and in every component utilizes the same space.
Yeah.
So like everything is super tight. You've had to remake a couple pipes because they're too
Mhm.
tight. So it's like, oh, okay, we
Yeah.
can't produce this kit because that was our original intention to sell that turbo.
Mhm.
But we found another turbo that it's a little more compact, so it
Yep.
fits a little better.
The footprint is definitely better, and it
Mhm.
still
And
gives you
it's-
the wow of like a top mount turbo. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
man, that looks neat. So like,
I'm kind of hoping to I don't foresee it making 400 wheel. Yours maybe.
yeah,
I don't foresee mine making 400 wheel, but it's going to spool quite a bit earlier, and it's going to like finally have a good back pressure, and I should be able to make like 350 like every day.
yeah.
Like every day 350, because yes, I made 330 on the dyno, but it was kind of like turn the boost up past the limits of the turbo and make
Mhm.
it for a pole.
Yeah.
And then you turn it down to the 305, 310 that it makes every day. But I'm hoping that with this new turbo, it'll make like 350, 360 in daily trim.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I want that turbo to hurry up because I want to put it on my Encore.
Oh,
So
yeah.
The back pressure is a huge thing, and
Yeah.
we've shipped just in this last month. We've built 2 of the highest horsepower customer 1.4s in the history of ZZP. We
Yep.
made 296 and 380 in a Sonic and a Cruise, and
280.
not 3.
Not 380.
yeah.
Would
Sorry.
would be neat.
Would be
But-
neat.
296 and 280.
Yeah.
I was talking to the guys on the phone, like, yeah, man, we could probably touch 300 if we wanted to, but we're not tuning the car to do that once. We're tuning the car so that you can go out and floor it every single day
Mhm.
and not have an issue with it. One
Drive
of those
tens of thousand miles a year.
and and the other thing, one of those cars we're shipping all the way across the country, and he wants to be able to turn the key, drive it to work, race it on the weekends. He wanted the full ZZP package, so we gave it to him.
Yeah, he does road course and autocross and that
could
stuff.
have we probably made low 300s a couple times? Yeah, but there's no sense of stress in the engine, the turbo, or any of that to do it once.
And we just released that video, last week?
Mm-hmm.
The Silver Sonic hatchback.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to some more details on that.
Basically cookie cutter of your car.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that silver.
Silver's growing on me too.
You don't see a whole lot of silver RSs.
No, you don't.
Which
that's a nice low mile one too.
Interesting car.
And he's got the brakes and the 660s and
good wheels, good wheel fitment. It's a good car.
Yeah, it's good.
It should perform for him.
Funky Junkie, what's up with you guys and Dave's Super Cruise? Nothing. He's just a guy.
Yeah, he's just another guy. I mean, he's another guy that uses stock frame turbos to try to make power, which don't work. But
I was like, I don't really know. Like, there's no real beef that I know of.
Not anyone here.
Yeah, no beef, but
he needs to
maybe a little bit of beef. Like people that sell turbos as turbo upgrades that aren't really turbo upgrades. Like
that's the thing, though.
Man,
I can't. This is the thing. I can't have beef with any other competitor. We'll say competitor. It's for what is it? Super Cruises or BNR or anything like that, because they don't come to the track. We don't race each other.
Yeah.
So
we don't even know what they do.
Unless y'all want to set a time and a date and a track, we don't have any beef.
Well, here's the other thing. Can you email Super Cruise and send him your car for a reliable 300 wheel horsepower?
No, because he works out of a garage.
I know exactly.
Anyways,
does he show up to Streetcar Takeover and make passes? No.
So Funky Junkie, mission accomplished. You got us going on.
I was like, I don't know, because I don't know the guy personally, and he doesn't have any cars that we race against.
Pretty irrelevant in our space of operation.
What bugs me is I will not talk crap about somebody that does good work. Yeah. I don't talk crap about a competing vendor that makes parts that I respect.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have competing vendors selling parts to just sell parts to make money that aren't even necessarily much better than stock, but touting them as better than stock, BNR, none of your turbos are comparable to ours. They're just not.
Here's the thing: if you think they are, show up and race.
Yeah.
Or what is the term? Grab a lane.
Grab a lane.
It doesn't even have to be at the same track at the same time. Just go to the track and put a freaking time down, and then drop it into Sonic Cruise Uncensored.
Yeah, and it's not he might be a great dude, nice guy to hang out with, but as business to business, come get some. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, just when you have a dude posting videos of a BNR car. Leaving a ZZP, quote unquote ZZP build car in the dust, I'm that car's broken. Obviously,
it's got a check engine light on.
The check engine light's on, and he leaves them in the dust, and I'm what is the point of this video? And you're oh, look at this.
Well, it's a full build either.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing ridiculous. Too. Even before, when I was a customer and I lived in Virginia, there was a local guy that had a GTX 14 on his car, and we did a couple highway, fun runs.
Yeah.
And it was a GTX versus Z04, and I was it was bus lengths.
Yeah.
I didn't post it oh, look at my ZZP build. I was they're two different turbos. Why does it matter?
We've changed a lot of customers' lives taking their GTX turbo off and putting a Z04 on them. We've done a lot.
And we as a company, we're learning more and more every day. Our back pressure, and we're gaining data every day. So can anybody else say that?
Yeah.
Ivan K. You got to tell us what Regal GS, because there are a whole bunch of generations and a whole bunch of different engines.
3 different engines.
Yeah.
3800 LHU LTG. We got a lot of Regals. We like
vastly different engines.
We do have some trinkety cool stuff.
For all of them, a turbo. Whether it's a turbo or a bigger turbo or a bigger turbo and a Forge engine.
Yeah, Forge engine. That's if you're an LTG person, Forge engine.
That was 3800 LHU and LTG.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so otherwise, on our winter prep train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we on Randy right now? What are you doing this winter?
I'm hoping as little as possible.
We kind of started with Randy, and then it came.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the CTS is going to be here.
Yeah,
it's gonna live here during the winter. We're gonna do some testing and some I need a low pressure pump, and then we're gonna do some
we definitely need
stuff. I just want to make 600 on those ATS-V turbos, and then more later.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
Oh, look at my man.
There we go.
A 98 L67 Series 2. So if you want to
Ivan, that is easy. You have the easiest vehicle to make 350 with.
Literally, brother. So 2 things. Go check out Mike put together a killer video with me. Road to 300 horsepower.
Who's Mike? Are you talking about Big M?
Yeah, Big M.
Big M.
On our YouTube.
The Sauce Boss.
Road to 300 horsepower. Road to 400 horsepower. You're going to kind of fall in the middle of those. Cheapest, effective, most efficient way to do it. Buy our Z3 kit. 1.9 rockers, valve springs, and a remote tune.
Yeah. All right.
We'll do it.
What I have to say about 3800, like that engine, you can have a goal of 350 wheel. And the thing is stupid fast.
Yeah.
Like 350 wheel in an or like an LSJ or like I don't know, 350 wheel in nearly every other car is like fast. And then you have 350 wheel in a 3800 car. It's gonna make 350 wheel for like 2 to 2,500 RPM.
Yeah.
Like the
Basically
power
from
band.
idle up.
Yeah, like so.
And gallons of torque.
You can basically beat a 500 horsepower Cobalt with a 350 horsepower Grand Prix.
Yeah. 100%. You have that automatic, which people can talk crap about the Ford T65. I'm not going to because mine ran 10s.
It worked.
With just a basic build.
Basic maintenance on transmission.
Matt's ran 8s.
Well, and it's just like people build the connotation is people build a transmission and they think they're like, all right, I build it.
Yeah. Never again. It's like when people build a forged engine, they're like, I'll never have to touch it again. And I'm like, wrong, brother. That's not how it works.
GM designed this engine to last 100,000 plus miles, and there are so many people that probably have 250,000 miles on their engines. Yeah. At 200 horsepower or maybe 240 horsepower. Then you build a forged engine, which is not as reliable as the OEM engine. All the forged components are heavier than stock. Mm-hmm. They're not designed to have the best economy and wear like the OEM Hyper-Eutechnic pistons are.
Yeah.
Those are engineered to not have to grow a lot so that you don't have piston slap. Mm-hmm. Piston slap is your piston rocking up the cylinder wall when it's cold and not up to temp. Hyper pistons don't do that. So a forged engine, you're going to get less miles just in a stock car. And then what are you doing? You're expecting
to double the horsepower,
twice the power of the stock engine. So not only do you have a less reliable engine, and then you double the horsepower of it. No, an engine is a wear item.
Just because the components themselves can tolerate more power does not mean that they're going to last longer.
Yes.
And GM has to build these engines to put in hundreds of thousands of cars and them to all be the exact same. So,
Nick Mazur has a killer question. Will my new 1.4 bigger turbo require high RPM lifters?
Require? No. Will it benefit from it?
Yes.
Quite a bit? Absolutely.
Yeah, so Nick, send me a scan. Send me a scan. I need to keep tabs on yours. It's been a while since I've seen it.
It has been a while, and we need to get
He's got a Cruise, right?
Yep. Cruiser is Sonic.
Yeah,
I think it's a Sonic.
Here's the thing, too.
He's got a real good Cruise. He did all the cookie cutter stuff to make what GM should have made.
Yeah.
The high RPM lash adjusters really just help you rev out to redline. We found the stock ones tend to bleed down or pump up. I guess what would the correct term be?
The valves are not properly opening and closing at high RPM.
Yeah, we're hanging valves. Boost. So the shorter travel lash adjusters really help you rev to redline. And you can use them in stock application or your car.
Yeah.
Basically, what they are is if you search shimmed lash adjusters or shimmed lifters, that's what they are. We just do that all in. We designed it to where you don't have to shim them. They're just
because it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah. Yes, it's a lot of work to shim.
It's a situation to get those lash adjusters apart. Tyler and I have done a handful of sets.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. And I got tiny hands too.
Yeah, and I have not tiny hands.
Well, it's comparable to our good old Comp OER 3800 lifter,
Yep. And like Tim said, Nick, get him a scan.
Yeah.
When Tim says get him a scan, it's get him a scan every day.
Like, he's like, no,
please don't.
Maybe not that much.
But like when your tuner asks you, hey, like give me a scan, you should probably get him a scan.
Yeah.
Like don't.
So many people just don't. I'm just saying, when your tuner, the guy who's making you make power,
you got the tool.
Data.
Hey, you know what? I want to say this, and I might be speaking for Tyler and Bo on this. Like, every once in a while, I'll just, like, scroll through my tunes, and I'll notice, like, a lot of A tunes. I send out a lot of first revision files, and my email says, hey, this is your first tune. This is conservative because I need to see a scan from you to know how much I can turn your car up.
Or if your car's broken.
Yeah, like... And I see a lot of A files. Like, people don't send me scans, and it's not like I don't have a way to go back and see if they sent me a scan, so I can send out an email and be like, "Hey, I never got a scan for your A file. Like, send me a scan." Like, you guys are leaving a lot of power on the table. This is not a mail order tune. Like, our mail order tune, I'm gonna make up a number just to make a point, but like a mail order tune might go out making 25 pounds of boost, LNF guys. Yeah. But then, like, with a mail order tune, the first one goes out with like 16.
Yeah.
And then, like, I turn it up as I see your fuel and your mods and your driving style work with it. Yeah. And then I'm able to turn it up and give you more power.
Yeah, like our tunes are not canned tunes.
Yeah.
Listen, I take those revisions to Z.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's why I do numbers. It starts with 1.0, then it's 1.1, 1.2.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Jay, man. You're like, you're at J. You know some shit's dialed in.
Yep, like, car's ready to go.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm on
you get halfway
D
through
on
that.
my car, and I think it feels pretty spicy.
Well, that's the thing. You put together a good car, you know, because the
go
first
okay.
3 revisions might be like, "Hey, fix this. Hey, fix this.
Exactly.
Hey, fix that."
Here's a funny thing. So some people might be like, "How does Tim have 330 wheel horsepower in his Sonic?" My file revision letters. Are you guys ready for this? It's at ZZK. That's how many files my Sonic is at.
You should have got it right by ZZ.
Should have been.
I did actually. I went ZZP1, and then I'm like, this is not gonna work. Like, I'm just gonna keep going. But yeah, like it's just a lot of driving and a lot of scanning and just perfecting everything. It is so crucial. So you people, like, you will never be done with a B file.
No.
Like, I don't think I've ever had just a B and it's done. I have had a couple C files and, like, literally done.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, like,
I've had a couple
magic.
1.4.
Okay.
Like, so 3 or 4, yeah.
Well, what's nice is, like, even as far as remote tuning goes, you email us a dialed file. Like, you send us a scan 2 weeks after we've said we're good. It makes us feel good to see that it's still good.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no problem ever. If you're just, I tell the guys too, like, hey, we're good here. Everything looks great. If you're ever going to be out beating on the car and you feel like you want to take the laptop with you for a ride, go for it. Like, send me a scan anytime because, you know, I'm always happy to look at it, especially after the fuel trim set in and the transmission starts to do its thing after you flash it.
Yep.
It's a tool. Use it.
Yep. Yeah. Tim 300, P-Works buys a ton of our Z-Series turbos, and that relationship won't go away. So
I've in my Sky, I've run plenty of P-Works parts.
Yeah,
I have no gripes with that guy.
Yeah, Preston said unless you're Matt, his files are on the money. Yeah, Matt's 1.0s for the LNF are strangely exact. Like, if that car is put together and doesn't have any leaks and it's
Matt's
running
got
good,
the cheat codes.
Like, is it strangely exact? Like, have you met Matt? Like, he's freaking good.
It is pretty frustrating. Like,
I know, right?
He put like a file 1 on my Cobalt, and it was just like what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Like, I worked with him on a project this week. We were making some, like, a duty cycle tester or whatever, and I was like, I got to get this right the first time.
Well, it's so funny when we work with LNF customers, you know, who have their car here, and we got the build together, we're tuning it, and they know it's close, right? You know, I've let them know it's running, and they're like, hey, man, is the car good? Like, can I come pick it up? And I'm like, well, well, Matt, I want to tell him Matt's seeing some numbers that aren't 100%.
Yep.
Even though it may be just a few percent here or there, we need them perfect. Like I can't let the car go until Matt says it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And although it probably runs and drives fine, we need it 100%. And it's hard for me to explain to the customer that Matt's doing his thing. Just let Matt do his thing,
yep.
And it's all gonna be fine. Like it might take a couple more days, but we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
And the LNFs we build are just ridiculous. Like the video Mike dropped this week of Tommy's black LNF, man. Like that car, 440 horsepower.
Through Race Masters on the dyno.
Yeah, through Race Masters
on the dyno, which isn't good. On
the dyno with F40. All the cookie cutter parts, the recipe.
Yep.
And, they just work so well. And I tell Matt every time, I'm like, you're going to make me buy one of these damn things, dude. Like, they just run so good.
Everybody's got to have one LNF, at least.
I have one, but it's the wrong one. It's the auto HHR, but...
The sedan's on my list, but maybe next year.
They are such a good car.
Yeah.
I can't believe... I was telling Tim, because his old LNF sedan came up for sale. I'm like, it's the type of car where you put together like a 257 LNF, and I don't care if you're 45 years old. You go out in the garage and you look at that thing, dude, it's going to put a smile on your face if you get in the seat. And
absolutely.
For the bang for your buck is ridiculous.
Well, that's me and my CTS. I did not expect to like this car this much. Like, I was like, oh, I'll get it, and it'll be a fun experience, and maybe we can develop some more stuff for it. It'll be fun. And I drove it around for a few days, and I was like, well... I'm gonna keep this. I think it's just comfortable and powerful and cubes and two of the turbos.
Torques.
So like it's just in the trans in the V Sport is ridiculous.
Yeah, except for it wants to lug you around at 1800 RPM at all times.
But the thing is, though, it does that, and then I put my foot in it a little bit. It doesn't change gear, but it just goes.
Yeah,
like it's just I don't know.
It's great.
It's a different car.
Gordon Barclay. 54 of 57 on an LNF without E85? Heck yeah. The KO4 is better than we always talk about the 1.4 turbos, but it's still very small and it runs out of steam. So
we're pretty big Z54 guys around here.
Yeah.
Unless you're really trying to punch a big number, you want
really
a good killer
love
street
how
car.
54 feels, and a lot of people buy 57s. It is the bigger number.
Yep.
It is the bigger turbo. But I really think a 54, especially on a 2-liter, is a perfect sweet spot.
Yeah, you have more average power.
Yeah,
which people don't realize. Like they kind of obsess over the highest wheel horsepower number instead of the average power.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And like you spend a lot more time spooling a turbo than you spend at full throttle.
Mm-hmm.
So like I will give up 20 wheel horsepower to have it spool 500 to 700 RPM quicker, like no problem.
Oh, absolutely.
Ryan brought up, why do newer Regals have so many turbo issues? 100% vehicle maintenance. If you run cheap oil, don't change your oil on time. If you run 87 in it and you do top speed runs, you're going to send pistons through it, and it's not going to last very long. If you obviously if you don't change the oil, or if you follow the GM, like change your oil here, it's just gonna gunk that thing up and it's gonna go bad. But like my Regal has 134,000 miles on it. It's original engine and turbo, and it's completely fine.
Yep.
And I have the dial set to 10, and it still runs fine. Like it's good.
Well, that's why I'm so confused when like people with 1.4s, like high mileage 1.4s.
Mm-hmm. Encore
had 170,000 miles when I bought it, and it immediately got full bolt-ons. And Tim was like, "Me." So like, you do a couple little maintenance things. Just keep up on your maintenance.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
That's all you got to do.
Steven, draining a stealth heat exchanger if it's antifreeze to water is 50-50. There's a calculator online that tells you the freezing point of water to antifreeze ratio, and that's going to depend on how cold it gets there. Whether you keep it in the garage.
32 degrees, maybe don't drain it. -10.
So they also make testers. Yeah. The little tester you can suck it up into.
Oh yeah.
And I was needing one because my Dune toy this summer, I was in a pinch and I put a bunch of water in it, and I got on Amazon Prestone makes one for like $8.
Yeah.
And I got it, and they shipped it to me in prime 2 days. Sucked some out of the radiator, and it tells you what it's good for Fahrenheit and Celsius.
Oh really?
Yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
And for $8, dude, it'll save you an engine block.
Or if you have any doubts, just drain it.
Yeah, that too.
Because I left water with water wetter in my first Ion over the winter, and all the lemon over cores went.
Oops.
It wasn't good.
So what are you guys doing to your cars this winter? I see Sinful. Hope that thing's running good, man. That's so cool that we worked so hard on getting your car running well, and then we came down to a couple diag issues with the MAF, and I haven't heard from you. So,
hopefully it's running well.
Just like we were talking about earlier, send me a scan, brother. I'm still happy to look at a good running car. Good luck with the tires you're putting on. What kind of tires are you putting on that thing?
Hey, Preston, stop talking crap about that twin disc. It's never going to slip on you ever.
An on-off switch.
Preston, are you whining?
He's
Preston,
whining about the clutch.
Did you buy a freaking Beak-built race car and you're whining a little bit, dude? Come on now, partner.
Preston whining at the time.
Gordon Barkley, yes, you can buy F40s. There's a seller on eBay who's got them up, I think, for like $1,100 for a brand new 0-mile Regal F40, which is a great deal by itself.
Mm-hmm.
But just message him. See what he might take, because he might take a little less.
That's true.
But if I'm just reading here, no point in upgrading the 35 with a new clutch, just have it grenade. Bo and I were talking about this at lunch. Like, if you've got a good 35, it's a good transmission. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's fragile really overall when you've got big torque on it, but especially in a blower car, a 35 is great.
We still build a lot of high horsepower F35s here at the shop, and I always give the guys the heads up, and they all know their responsibility of running an F35 at the 400 wheel or above mark. Mm-hmm. It's all about how you're going to treat that darn thing, and you could go 100,000 miles or you could go 100 miles, depending on how you treat it. They're a really good transmission though, and in a lot of cases on a blower car, like Tyler said, we were talking about, they feel a little peppier. They are a lot smaller, lighter. The gear stacks a little bit tighter. On a blower car, they're not bad. You don't have the 6 gear for overdrive, but if I was to buy an LNF or an LSJ tomorrow, I'd probably turbo it on that F35 and just kind of rock it out, see what happened, and have an F40 in my back pocket.
Yep, that's why I got one in the garage.
What happens if you have a turbo Ion with an F35, Bo?
That was young Bo.
Let's say
that was young Bo. That didn't touch the boost controller, Bo.
Yeah,
he knows how to do that now.
Yeah, it turns out
I never broke one.
I only put 1 or 2 in that.
Anywho,
turns out you can put 5th gear through the side of the case if you're not careful. I had the only time I've been late to work at ZZPerformance, I call Tim and was like, Tim, I'm real close to ZZP, but I'm not there. And I'm looking at the Ion transmission. I can see 5th gear.
So I'll be there eventually.
And that was a crazy day. Yeah, it had like 20 fucking 22-pound pulls that night before, and I get in it for work. I'm like, ooh, she noisy.
Did I put a twin disc in there? Nope, not at all. Jeff Gordon, we actually talked about that. We talked about SEMA, Bo, myself, and Tyler, and then we decided that was a poor idea for this year.
Yeah, next year we'll be at SEMA.
We'll probably be at SEMA.
Bill K, where you been, bud?
Ooh.
SCT 25 running 11s. Bottom 11s, I hope.
I hope so.
Bottom 11s, high 10s.
Either way, happy to see you there back in the old Red Rocket.
Unfortunate name.
He's got some aluminum heads and...
Bill Kish has gone crazy, boys. He is out of control. I mean, in a good way. He's got so much cooking for a blower car. He's going to probably put us to shame with that darn build.
I love it.
Thankfully.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
Right? Hopefully we can tune it here right on our dyno before streetcar, and you can run some killer
when
times.
Customers come to us and we're like, oh shit.
I mean, it won't be the first time that a customer beats us with our recipe. Like, it happens.
Yeah.
But we love to see it.
Yeah, we love to see it. We promote it.
Well, Bill's done his homework and then some, and he's putting together a really good car. So hopefully that converter comes through for you.
All right, boys. It's
is it that darn time?
Yeah.
It's 58.
What are we doing this weekend?
Neat.
I know we really didn't talk about winter, but that's okay.
Winter tires, WeatherTechs.
Yeah.
New wipers, Rain-X. Send it.
Yep. If you get snow, winter tires, WeatherTechs will save your carpet.
Yep.
Hey,
New wipers and Rain-X.
I'm not pulling the wheels off the Regal until we get like our second snow.
Oh,
like,
you do have some Uggies for that thing.
Like I am like it's because you know what happens. We get pounded with snow one day or like 2 or 3 days.
It's fine 24 hours
and
later.
then it's good for a month.
Yeah.
So like I'm not getting faked out by that first snow. Like I am gonna rock. I'm gonna make it to
dodge
work.
it.
We started swapping to snow tires this week. You know, as fleet manager, we have a lot of cars here and a lot of people in cars, and I need to make sure they're safe. My rule used to be snow tires are on by Black Friday. My rule then backed up to snow tires are on by November, and then anymore I'm like, dude, they have to be on by Halloween because. Well, you never know what Michigan's going to do.
You never know.
And I remember maybe 2 years ago, we had a snow, and poor Kyla Beek didn't have her snow tires on. No. And I wake up in the morning, I look outside, I go, oh, no.
Here's the thing, like, if you run around in all seasons, which I hate all seasons, but if you run around in all seasons, like, you'll be okay if you go, like, get some snow. But if your daily driver has, like, summer tires on it, and then you get, like, 4 inches of snow, it's like... I might not make it down the road.
Yeah, no. I'm just not gonna leave.
The no traction, like legit no traction, is so scary.
Yeah.
So it's my wife's Tesla has like Michelin Pilot Super Sports on it, like 4S's. So it's like that tire's not gonna work in snow at all.
No,
not at all.
Even being a Tesla.
No. And the Regal's the Regal tires will be okay. Like I'll be all right.
Be all right.
In some snow.
Yeah, I got the RE71Rs have to come off.
Oh boy,
the
bro, get them off.
It's in the garage. It's still 50 something in there.
Okay,
it's okay.
All right, we had.
That's why I gotta have Randy take me home.
We had frost last week.
No, I'm gonna rock the all-terrains again all season on the Buick. So
there we go.
Doesn't matter to me.
All right, let's run it back. What are we doing this weekend? Start with somebody.
Start with me. All right, cool. I'm gonna do Sonic stuff. I'm revising some cash game stuff for my car.
Like that.
You're at the tinkering phase, which is the best phase.
I'm gonna do this thing where I put a boost controller in the thing, and I'm gonna twist the stuff, and I'm gonna send him a
Let's go.
So I just want to get in the efficiency range of the turbo, 18 to 30 pounds, and see what it does. And probably some CTS stuff. That car just needs a good detail because
it does.
It had a rough life before it ended up in my hands.
Well, like when somebody blows it up and lets it sit for a year, that's never good.
It's not good. It's a little gross under there, but we're slowly getting. It doesn't feel like my car yet. Like it doesn't have my stuff.
It's a big thing.
Yeah. So like I bought it and like I own it and it's running and driving, but it doesn't feel like mine yet.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do all the my little Randy stuff to get the car nice and clean. Probably clean the wife's car. Play with the dogs. I'll probably see Tyler at some point in time. We live like a quarter mile away from each other. So.
Yeah, it's great.
I will not see any of you. I live like a quarter of a state away.
Yeah, I think that's about it for me. Maybe some sim time. I've been playing Car X Racing a lot. If anyone wants to get on, my gamer tag is I want to go fast 09. I will get on your door. So,
drifting game.
About
I've just got some F1 to watch and Halloween parties to go to, and prepping for my Texas trip just to hang out with a buddy for a couple days.
Nice. Yep.
That's pretty much it for
me.
me.
Bring back a car?
Not this time. I need to sell like 2 before I can buy.
Are you just taking the Raptor to Texas?
Yeah.
He's getting some audio stuff done, right?
Yeah, Raptor's got like base model audio, so we got to fix that.
Okay, that's cool.
Duke audio.
Erica and I are going to do a little date night tonight. And then we're heading to Grand Blanc for my brother-in-law's birthday tomorrow, Michigan State game.
Nice.
And then
Sunday.
Wow,
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
We might have to. Yeah, that'd be fun.
He is the Michigan fan. Like the Michigan fan.
Oh no.
So
that's never.
I hope State wins. What about you, Bo?
Nothing too crazy. I'm just doing old man stuff. I gotta like blow some leaves, clean up the garage.
Oh my gosh, my yard is orange.
I've been
the whole thing.
I kid you not. I've been working 4 weeks to situate my vehicles for the winter. It's been a project. I bought an extra vehicle this year, and I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do?
That when I brought all of the cars that I own home now, I was like, oh god, where do I put them? Katie's like, I gotta do a 93-point turn to get out of the driveway. I'm like, ow, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
looks like a used car dealership back there. Yeah.
Yeah. So just trying to get my head on straight. Some lack of better terms, my shit together.
Yep.
And yeah, it's so crazy what we go through living in this state.
Yep.
For the seasonal changes,
I know.
man. Like the amount of work you got to do to your yard for spring, throughout the summer, winter, like the whole deal. The gutters
Don't forget
need cleaned.
to turn off your water to your hoses.
Yeah.
Or just undo your hoses.
Or undo the hoses. Actually, no, because I did that. The first year I lived at my house, I just undid the hose and I left the thing on. Froze.
Yep.
And then burst
everywhere. I got a separate shut off about 10 feet from the wall, shut that off,
Yep.
and then go outside, drain it.
My problem was it goes through a crawl space. And that was the winter that it got down to like -10 a couple times. And the portion underneath the crawl space, which, talk about a pain in the ass.
I do cut
to
wood
replace.
this. Yes, Bill. I have
Anyway.
a face cord of wood to split. I have a lot of
Yep. We got some things to do.
Yep.
Yeah, the prep for winter, like not car winter, like house winter is for real.
Yep.
Anyway.
Hey, I have a question, and we should have put this tally up already.
No.
Like, I haven't turned my heater on yet. Have you guys?
What?
I have
your
not.
house?
The furnace?
It was 64 this morning when I got up.
Oh,
like
no.
my house
We had
is
the
from
windows open yet last
1900,
night.
Tim, I have to turn the house
Mine's
on.
from the 1800s. The heat was on 3 weeks ago.
I'll bet you lunch that I can ride it out longer. Dude, we can...
Really?
Oh, yeah, man. We don't turn the heat on.
Let's see. I'm not going to bet you any money
Yeah.
because I just don't do that. But, like, let's see. Let me know when you turn it on.
I bet you I don't turn it on until November 20s.
Ooh, I think you're gonna win.
My bones are too small for that.
I need some
hollow
need
bones.
some stats, some numbers. Like you're gonna have to like send me pictures.
I can take a picture of the...
Wood stove?
Nope, I can take a picture of the thermostat in the morning when I come in and let you know that it's still not on yet. We're real stingy. We're real stingy about it. It's kind of a game. Sarah and I would be like, "Is today the day?"
I mean, realistically, it would be 50 in my house, and I would be very comfortable. And
Yeah.
Katie would be like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah.
Like I'll walk around in shorts and a t-shirt.
I will
50
say,
degrees.
my wife is definitely gonna be the one. Like she's gonna be the one that I'm gonna have to argue with to turn the heat on.
Yeah, so it was
And
weird.
like I pay the heat bill, but she's like, no, we're not turning it on yet. And I'm like, man, it's kind of cold. Like I got like a hoodie on in the house and sweatpants.
Like, I don't
Tim's
care.
got
Go
his
get in the
slippers
house.
on.
So
and
this
a Snuggie.
morning we woke up. It was 36 degrees. We slept with the window open.
Oh, we slept
Yeah,
with the window
that's
open
what
last night.
Yeah, we do that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to get that fresh air.
We got 2 dogs and 2
Yep.
human bodies in this bed. Like
Yeah,
there's a
I
lot of
feel
heat
that.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
We got 3 cats. They're a little smaller, but they're heat.
We got 3 dogs.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you maybe
We'll see you.
in a month, but it will be Black Friday,
It is
so we
gonna
will see.
Yeah.
It'll probably
The
be an
Black Friday.
after hours 5 p.m. Black Friday. So
Yeah.
catch you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, we're gonna be in a situation that day.
Yeah, we will.
It'll be
So, yeah.
Wait,
A month reminder, Black Friday. One sale of the year.
save
All
your
right.
pennies.
We'll catch you next time.
Have a good weekend.
Peace.